Welcome back to my channel, Mr. English Studio. I'm James, and today, as always, I have my wonderful co-host, Emily. Hi, Emily. How are you today?
Hi, James. I'm doing great. Thank you. And how about you?
I'm good too. It's always fun to start the week talking about English with you.
Yes, it's one of my favorite parts of the week.
So today we have a very practical topic for our viewers. We're going to talk about how to talk about your job in English. That's right. Talking about work is something we all do every day, but sometimes it's tricky in English.
Absolutely. Many learners struggle with this because there are lots of ways to describe your job, your tasks, and even how you feel about your work. But don't worry, we'll make it simple.
That's the goal. Okay, Emily, let's start with the basics. When someone asks, "What do you do?" How can we answer that in English?
Oh, that's a classic question. You can say, I'm a teacher, or I'm a software engineer, or whatever your job is. Simple and clear.
Right. And sometimes people also ask, "Where do you work?" That's when you can say, "I work at a school," or "I work for a big company in the city."
Exactly. And notice the difference. I'm a teacher focuses on your job or profession, while I work at focuses on the place where you work.
Ah, that's a really good point, Emily. And we can give our viewers some practice here. Okay, repeat after me. I'm a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
I work at a hospital.
I work at a hospital.
Perfect. And viewers, which of these phrases do you use in your daily life? Comment below. I'd love to know.
Now, let's go a bit deeper. Sometimes people want to talk about what they do every day at work. For example, you can say, I teach students, or I write reports, or I help customers. These are action sentences.
That's really useful because in real conversations, people don't just ask your job title, they want to know what you actually do.
Exactly. And here's a tip for our viewers. Try to use verbs that describe your main tasks. For example, if you're a chef, you can say, I cook meals and plan menus. Or if you're an engineer, I design systems and solve problems.
Oh, I like that. And letters can also add a little detail to make it more natural. Like, I work at a school, I teach English to teenagers. That sounds more complete and friendly.
Yes, and you can also mention how you feel about your job. For example, I enjoy teaching or I love helping people. That makes your English sound more natural and emotional.
That's true. Sometimes I hear people say just, "I work," and that's okay, but it doesn't tell much. Adding a little detail really makes your conversation shine.
Definitely. And here's another tip for our viewers. You can use the present simple for routines. For example, I start work at 9 a.m. and finish at 5 p.m. This is very common in everyday English.
Oh yes, the present simple is key. And you can also practice negatives and questions, like "I don't work on weekends," or "Do you work in an office?"
Great point. And now, James, let's make it fun for our viewers. Can we try a little quiz? I'll say a job and you give a sentence describing the daily work. Ready?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, first one, nurse.
I work at a hospital, I take care of patients and help doctors.
Perfect. Next one, software developer.
I work at a tech company, I write code and build applications.
Excellent. And last one, chef.
I work at a restaurant, I cook meals and create new recipes.
Amazing. Viewers, you can do the same at home. Can you make sentences about your own job? Try writing them in the comments.
And remember, don't worry about mistakes. Practice makes perfect. Even if it's a small sentence, it's a big step for fluency.
Absolutely. And here's a little fun fact. Sometimes native speakers will ask, what do you do for a living? That's just another way to ask your job.
Oh, yes, and you can answer in the same way. I'm a teacher or I work at a company. Simple and natural.
That's right. And later in this episode, we'll also show some more casual ways to talk about your job in English.
Perfect. Okay, Emily, that's a good start for Chapter 1. Viewers, make sure you repeat these sentences and try them yourself.
Yes, practice is the key, and don't forget, comment below which phrase you like the most today.
And of course, if you're enjoying this video so far, hit that like button. It really helps our channel.
And subscribe if you haven't already. You don't want to miss the next chapters where we go even deeper into talking about your job in English.
Welcome back, everyone. In Chapter 2, we're going to make talking about your job even more natural. Emily, are you ready?
Always ready, James. So, today, let's focus on how to talk about your work in a casual and emotional way. Not just, I'm a teacher, but how you really feel and what makes your job interesting.
Yes, that's so important because in real life, people often ask, do you like your job? Or how's work going? And if we only say our title, it sounds a little flat.
Exactly. So, for example, you can say, I really enjoy my job because I help people every day. Or, I love working with my team. They're amazing.
Ah, that's perfect. And we can also use words like exciting, challenging, or rewarding. For example, my job is very challenging, but I love it.
That's a great example. And learners, notice how James added a contrast with but. It makes your English sound much more natural.
Thank you, Emily. I try. And here's a question for our viewers. Have you ever had a challenging day at work? How would you say it in English? Write it in the comments.
Yes, and here's a useful structure for that. Today was difficult because, or I had a busy day doing, for example, today was difficult because I had many meetings.
Ah, that's very practical. And you can also make it positive. It was a busy day, but I learned a lot. That's a nice way to show progress and positivity.
Exactly. And don't forget, we can also talk about our coworkers. For example, my colleagues are very helpful, or I have a great boss. It makes your English sound friendly and social.
I like that. And here's a tip for learners. If you want to make small talk at work in English, you can say, how was your day? Or what did you do at work today? And then you can respond with these full sentences.
Perfect. And let's do some practice. Repeat after us. I had a busy day, but I enjoyed it.
I had a busy day, but I enjoyed it.
My coworkers helped me a lot today.
My coworkers helped me a lot today.
Great. And now let's add a little humor. James, can you share a funny work story?
Oh, yes. So one time I was teaching a class and I accidentally said the wrong word in English. Instead of saying exam, I said egg, and the students laughed so much.
I remember that. And that's a perfect example of how mistakes can be funny and memorable. It's also a great way to show viewers that making mistakes in English is normal and okay.
Absolutely. And you can even share that in English with your coworkers or friends. I made a funny mistake today at work.
Exactly. And you can also describe daily routines with humor. For example, I drank 3 cups of coffee before my meeting. It was a long day.
Yes, I do that too. And viewers, what's the funniest thing that happened to you at work? Comment below and try to write it in English.
Now, James, let's move on to some common expressions for talking about work. These are phrases that native speakers use every day.
Yes, okay, Emily, give me one.
Sure. One common phrase is, I'm swamped with work. It means you have a lot to do.
Oh, I know that one. So I can say, I'm swamped with work today. I have many tasks to finish.
Perfect. And another one is, I'm under pressure. It means you feel stressed or have deadlines.
Got it. I'm under pressure because I have an important project.
Excellent. And learners, notice how these phrases are very natural in real conversations. You can use them at work, with friends, or even in an interview.
That's true. And another phrase is, I'm looking forward to the weekend. Very common for people who want to relax after work.
Yes, and we all feel that way sometimes. So you can say, I'm looking forward to the weekend because I want to rest and relax.
Perfect. And viewers, which of these expressions do you use in your daily life? Comment below.
And remember, James, even small sentences are good. For example, work was tiring today, or I helped a customer, are simple but effective.
Absolutely. And this is a great point to practice. You can tell your friends in English even just a few sentences about your day.
Yes, and in the next chapter, we'll talk about how to respond when someone asks questions about your job, and also how to describe your skills and responsibilities in more detail.
That's right. And remember, everyone, don't be afraid to use these phrases. Try to say at least one sentence about your work today in English.
Great tip, James. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you're enjoying this lesson.
Exactly. And stay tuned for Chapter 3, where we dive even deeper into natural English conversations about work. Welcome back, everyone. We're now in Chapter 3, and things are getting even more interesting. Today, Emily, we'll focus on describing your tasks, responsibilities, and professional skills in English.
Yes, James, this is very important because in real conversations, people often want more detail. They don't just ask, what's your job? They might ask, what exactly do you do?
Exactly. So, Emily, let's start with a simple example. Let's say I'm a teacher. How can I explain my daily tasks naturally?
Okay, you can say something like, I teach English to teenagers, prepare lessons, and grade assignments. Simple, clear, and natural.
Oh, that's great. And I can also add a little more detail. I also help students with their pronunciation and speaking skills. That makes it more complete.
Perfect. And learners notice the verbs teach, prepare, grade, help. These action words make your sentences much stronger and more precise.
Absolutely. And here's another tip. When you talk about your responsibilities, you can use phrases like, I'm responsible for. For example, I'm responsible for organizing meetings and managing the team schedule.
Yes, that's a very professional way to describe your work, especially if you're talking in a formal context or in an interview.
Oh, that's a good point. And now let's practice with some other jobs. Emily, give me one.
Okay, let's try nurse.
I take care of patients, monitor their health, and assist doctors during treatments.
Perfect. And notice how you added three actions. That's very natural in English when describing a job.
Great. Next, software developer.
Go ahead.
I design and develop software, write code, test programs, and fix errors.
Excellent. And now, chef.
I plan menus, prepare meals, manage the kitchen team, and ensure food quality.
Perfect. And learners, try doing the same with your own job. Can you make three sentences describing your daily tasks? Write them in the comments.
Now, Emily, let's talk about professional skills. How can learners describe their skills naturally in English?
Good question. One way is to use phrases like, I'm good at, or I'm skilled in, or I have experience with. For example, I'm good at teaching English, or I have experience managing projects.
Oh, that's very useful. And you can combine it with your tasks. I'm skilled in customer service, and I help clients with their questions every day.
Exactly. And another way to make it sound natural is to add an example. I'm skilled in writing reports. For example, I write monthly reports for my manager.
That's perfect. And viewers, can you write one skill about your job with an example? Try it in English.
Yes. And here's another tip. You can use words like coordinate, organize, lead, or manage to sound more professional. For example, I coordinate team meetings, or I manage a small team.
Oh, I like that. And it's also great for interviews. People love hearing clear, strong sentences like that.
Absolutely. And don't forget soft skills. These are very important too. For example, I'm good at communication, I work well in a team, or I'm a problem solver.
Yes, and you can combine soft skills with examples too. For example, I'm good at communication. I often explain complex tasks to new employees.
Perfect. And here's a little interactive practice. I'll give you a job, James, and you describe tasks and skills together. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. Marketing manager.
I develop marketing campaigns, analyze market trends, and manage the social media team. I'm skilled in communication and planning, and I often present ideas to the board.
Excellent. Now, graphic designer.
I create visual designs for websites and advertisements, use design software, and collaborate with clients. I'm skilled in creativity and attention to detail.
Perfect again. And last one, accountant.
I prepare financial reports, manage budgets, and ensure compliance with regulations. I'm skilled in math, organization, and problem solving.
Amazing. Viewers, this is exactly how you can describe your work in a clear, professional, and natural way.
Yes, and remember, practice is the key. Even small sentences are helpful. You don't need long paragraphs at first. Just start with 3 tasks in 1 skill.
Absolutely. And don't forget to add a little detail if you can. It makes your English more natural and interesting.
Great. And in the next chapter, we'll talk about how to answer tricky questions about your job, like salary, work hours, or challenges, in a polite and natural way.
That's right. And viewers, don't forget to comment below with your sentences about your job and skills. We'd love to read them.
And of course, like and subscribe if you're enjoying this lesson.
Yes, and stay tuned for Chapter 4, where we make talking about your job even more fun and real.
Welcome back, everyone. We're now in Chapter 4, and this part is very exciting. Today, we're going to talk about how to answer tricky questions about your job in English and make your conversation sound polite and natural.
Yes, James, sometimes people ask questions that can feel a little tricky, like, how much do you earn? Or, do you work long hours? And learners often don't know how to answer politely.
That's right. So, Emily, let's start with the question about salary. What's a polite way to answer without giving exact numbers?
Good question. You can say something like, I'm happy with my salary, or I earn enough to support my lifestyle. Simple and polite.
Oh, I like that. And you can also say, I prefer not to discuss my salary, but I enjoy my work. That's very professional.
Exactly. And learners, notice how these sentences are respectful and natural. You don't have to share personal information if you don't want to.
Perfect. Now, what about work hours? People sometimes ask, do you work a lot?
Yes, and you can answer politely, I work regular hours, or I have a busy schedule, but it's manageable.
That sounds good. And you can also make it casual. I work from 9 to 5 and sometimes a little extra if needed.
Right. And this also gives you a chance to talk about flexibility. I enjoy the flexible schedule at my job. That's very positive.
Ooh, I like that. And now let's talk about challenges. People sometimes ask, is your job difficult?
Yes, and you can answer honestly but politely. For example, sometimes it's challenging, but I enjoy learning new things. Or it can be tough, but it's very rewarding.
That's perfect. And notice how adding but makes your sentence sound natural and balanced.
Exactly. And you can also use humor if you want. For example, it's challenging, but I haven't fallen asleep at my desk yet.
That's very relatable. And viewers, what's the funniest or most challenging thing about your job? Comment below. We'd love to hear it.
Now, James, let's talk about casual conversation at work. Sometimes people just want to chat, not ask formal questions.
Right. So how can we respond naturally in those situations?
You can use phrases like, I'm busy today, but everything is going well. Or, work is good, thanks for asking. Simple and friendly.
Perfect. And another tip is to ask back. How about you? How's your work?
That keeps the conversation going. And in English, it's very common to show interest in the other person's job. It makes the conversation more natural.
And you can also talk about small victories at work. For example, I finished a big project today, and it feels great.
Exactly. Or even something simple. I helped a customer today, and they were really happy. Small sentences like this make your English more lively.
And here's a little practice for viewers. Repeat after us. Work is challenging, but I enjoy learning new things.
Work is challenging, but I enjoy learning new things.
I work from 9 to 5, and sometimes a little extra if needed.
I work from 9 to 5 and sometimes a little extra if needed.
Perfect. And now let's add a casual phrase. Emily, give me one.
Sure. It's a busy day, but I'm managing.
It's a busy day, but I'm managing.
Great! Viewers, try using these sentences with your friends or coworkers today. Even one sentence is great practice.
Absolutely. And remember, the key is to sound natural and polite even when answering tricky questions.
Yes, and in the next chapter, we'll finish by talking about how to describe your career goals, achievements, and future plans, so your English sounds confident and professional.
That's right. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you've learned something new today.
Yes, and stay tuned for Chapter 5, our final chapter, where we wrap up everything and give you the ultimate phrases to talk about your job naturally in English.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Chapter 5, the final chapter of today's episode. Emily, today we'll talk about career goals, achievements, and future plans, all in natural English.
Yes, James. Talking about your goals and achievements is very important, especially in conversations with colleagues, interviews, or networking.
Absolutely. So, Emily, how can someone start when talking about their goals?
A simple and natural way is, my goal is to, or I hope to. For example, my goal is to become a team leader, or I hope to improve my English skills for work.
Oh, that's very clear. And you can also add a little detail. My goal is to become a project manager in the next 2 years, so I'm learning new skills every day.
Perfect. And that makes your English sound confident and professional. Viewers, what are your career goals? Write them in English in the comments.
Great idea. Now, Emily, let's talk about achievements. How can learners talk about things they have accomplished at work?
Good question. You can say, I achieved, or I'm proud of. For example, I achieved my sales target this month, or I'm proud of completing a big project successfully.
Oh, yes. And you can also make it more natural. One of my proudest achievements is helping my team finish a project on time. That's conversational and friendly.
Exactly. And learners, notice how adding a small example makes your English stronger. You can even say, for example, and then explain.
Now let's move to future plans. Emily, how can learners talk about what they want to do next in their career?
You can use phrases like, next, I want to, I plan to, or I'm working towards. For example, next, I want to learn advanced Excel skills, or I'm working towards a promotion.
Oh, I like that. And you can also combine it with your goals. I plan to improve my communication skills because my goal is to become a team leader. Very natural.
Yes, and small sentences are fine too. Even, I hope to grow in my job, or I want to learn new skills. Short, simple, and clear.
And here's a little interactive practice for our viewers. Repeat after us. My goal is to improve my skills and grow in my career.
My goal is to improve my skills and grow in my career.
I'm proud of finishing my last project successfully.
I'm proud of finishing my last project successfully.
Next, I want to learn new skills and take on more responsibility.
Next, I want to learn new skills and take on more responsibility.
Perfect! Viewers, you can try making your own sentences at home or with friends. Even one sentence a day helps your English grow.
And now, James, let's do a fun recap of everything we learned today.
Great idea. So first we talked about basic job phrases like, I'm a teacher and I work at a school.
Then we learned casual and emotional ways to talk about work, including I enjoy my job and work is challenging but rewarding.
Next, we describe tasks, responsibilities, and skills, like I manage a team or I'm skilled in communication.
After that, we talked about tricky questions and polite answers, like I'm happy with my salary or I work regular hours.
And finally, we learned how to talk about achievements, goals, and future plans, like I'm proud of completing my project and my goal is to improve my skills.
Amazing. That's a lot of useful English for real life conversations about work.
Yes, and viewers, don't forget, practice makes perfect. Try saying at least one sentence about your job today.
And remember to comment below with your sentences, goals, or achievements in English. We'd love to read them.
And of course, if you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next English lesson.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Keep practicing, and your English will keep improving every day.
See you in the next video. Keep speaking English and have fun learning.
Bye, everyone.